No, I don't think it does.
Okay.
I think that this movie is going to do well. Like, I think that this movie will make 700-800. I could be wrong. I remember I bet you and had a big argument with you about the second Avatar a few years back, and you were just 100% right, and I was 100% wrong.
Did you say it wasn't going to make a
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a big failure.
Yeah, okay.
You were convinced, and you were right. And there are things about it. My perception could be my perception, but I think what this movie is lacking a little bit is it doesn't have star power. It has Superman as the star power. It has Nicholas Hoult as the star power.
Yeah,
but it just doesn't have. James Gunn, I guess, would be the other part of the star power.
Yeah.
But the main people involved are not names that people care about because of who they are. They're going to go see them because they're in this movie. Nicholas Hoult is likable. He's a great person in the movie world, but he's not like a box office draw. There's nothing about this movie to me aside from it being Superman and James Gunn being a pretty popular brand that's going to push this over $1 billion. And that's why I think you're probably 700-800 million on this.
So my answer is also no, but I would push against that logic only because I would say Guardians of the Galaxy didn't have a lot of stars. It didn't make $1 billion. So but its success didn't hinge on star power. I think that you look at Superman, and as you said it, you started with it. Superman sells the movie.
Yeah.
And if the movie is good, if the movie is excellent, it's got a very good shot of making $1 billion.
Yeah, if it's really good.
If it's really good.
And I have faith. Like James Gunn gives me faith.
Right.
Right. Like, don't you think that his Suicide Squad, the second one, is one of the most underrated
100%.
superhero movies, period?
Excellent movie.
And no one saw it.
No, but it was also pandemic days.
Yeah,
it was like mixed, theater. Nobody saw it in the theater.
That movie's good. That movie's really good. Yeah.
It's really good. So I do think it has a shot. And it's just a matter of repeat viewing, man. It's like if it does have that vibe and it does set and it's the same thing I just said about Man of Steel. It doesn't have to hit $1 billion to be successful. Now, people will argue, and you're going to see if it doesn't hit $1 billion, people are going to call it a failure, which is not accurate.
Yep.
The question we also don't really know. There's been rumors about how much this movie really cost. Someone said 300, someone said 315, and James Gunn shot back on that and said, no, that's not how much it costs. It costs less than that. Even if it let's split the difference and say it costs $250 million, right?
Yep.
So essentially, it's got to make around 650 or something in order to break even or whatever. I think it does that. I was at the airport. And TSA agent made fun of my wallet, told me I could fit my whole family in there if I wanted to. And it was a really good joke, buddy. But I'll tell you, made me self-conscious. And now I don't have to worry about that because I don't have the big bulky wallet anymore. Ridge is the bomb, yo. Why? Well, it's unique. It's slim. It's a modern design. It holds up to 12 cards plus cash. It's got premium materials like aluminum, titanium, carbon fiber. It's got over 50 colors and styles to choose from. So the one that I love my Giants customized one, and I know you're a Cowboys fan. Well, guess what? You can get one for the Cowboys too. Just don't tell me about it. It's got over 100,000 five-star reviews, and all Ridge products have a lifetime warranty. It's literally the last wallet that you're ever going to have to buy. Losing the wallet is the worst. It's the worst. But with the Ridge AirTag attachment, you'll always know where it is before panic mode kicks in. No matter what you pick, Ridge has free shipping, 99-day risk-free trial, and a lifetime warranty on all of their products. For a limited time, our listeners get 10% off at Ridge. We got to use that code Kristian at checkout. You head on over to ridge.com, use that code Kristian, then you're all set. After the purchase, it's going to say, hey, where'd you find this from? You're going to say, Kristian Harloff Show told me about it. And that's going to support the show. So go and do that. Don't get the Cowboys one. I guess you can.
Oh, it'll make 650.
I think it does.
Enough time has passed.
Yeah.
So the theatrical release, if I recall correctly, on Justice League is 2017.
Mhm.
Could be wrong with that, but I think it's right.
Could be.
The Snyder Cut, I think, is 2021, maybe.
Okay.
I can't quite remember, but it's right in there. So, and that's the last time we had Superman as a character in a movie in a significant way at all, right?
Yeah.
So you're going on 8 years since the last time Superman was a focal point in a theatrically released big movie. That's enough time. That's enough time for the world to reset their expectation. And by and large, Justice League is a giant steaming, I can swear on this, pile of shit, right?
Mhm.
Everybody kind of knows that. So it's been a decade since we had a hyped movie that people really cared about Superman.
Yeah.
And so I think that's enough time, right? Like, I don't think you're going to run into the oversaturation problem that you run into with some of these things. I think the world, if this is a good movie, I think you're right. It will make the money.
Yeah.
It has to be good, genuinely good.
Of course. I mean, because that's the other major concern is if it's not, And if it breaks even, they can survive. If it fails, James Gunn is toast.
Yeah.
At DC, it's the whole slate will be scrapped. Maybe they put Supergirl out because everybody started shooting it. But if you're Zaslav, you go, okay, if they're not going to see Superman,
yeah,
then they're not going to see your other stuff. No, thank you. We're Clayface. See you later. All these other movies. See you later. Yeah, but they're making it for cheap. And if this works, if Superman works, it makes, fine. You do a $30-40 million horror type movie in the DC universe. Sure, why not? If it doesn't necessarily relate to anything, and then you can kind of soft tease the world of Batman to where you eventually will get, your own Cape Crusader, then great. So this has to hit though, and they're waiting to and I think that's what the Batman 2 is hinging on.
Yeah,
I think the Batman 2. If Superman, I'll tell you one thing: if Superman makes $1 billion, you will hear very, very soon after that the Batman 2 is not happening.
Because they're going to be like, DCEU, we're doing this.
DCU, this is like where's
DCU, not
DCU, right? Yeah, DCU is, so it's like now we need our Batman. It's enough time has passed. It's a lot of delays, a lot of things are happening. Now, the flip side of that is if it fails, they're going to be unloading a truck full of money on Matt Reeves' porch. Say, please come back and do this. Let's do this now. That is our next Batman movie. DCU did not work.
This whole thing it really starts with the MCU. That's where the entire conversation about this topic starts, right? Because it's the beginning of that whole thing working. And it's really complicated the way the studios have to look at this IP. It's super, super convoluted now. The idea of having, and we saw it, obviously, we saw Joker make a ton of money at the same time that you had movies in different universe, same studio, right? So it's possible.
Right.
But when the people who are getting panicked and who are writing the paychecks and the people who are making those decisions, and they're like, well, we will or we won't do this thing because this is a better bet. That sucks for the fandom who has gotten totally invested in a second Matt Reeves Batman movie. But also, speaking objectively, as somebody who's a little less connected to the space than I once was, I don't care about Matt Reeves the Batman 2. It's not because I didn't think the first one was good. It was good.
Yeah.
It was a fun movie. I'm not clamoring for a sequel in that world. It wasn't enough. It doesn't feel like it needs one. MCU movies and DCU movies, when they're supposed to have the through line, that got me excited for the sequels. The whole MCU premise is the thing that got me excited, even for mediocre sequels. We're living in a world now where I'm good with that movie being a standalone. That was a good standalone movie.
It certainly can be a standalone. I do think that it is set up to be, because it was set up to be a trilogy.
Yeah.
And I do like the fact that it started in year 2 and they were going to move on, do some more stuff. I like the fact that they had the detective type story. It's the first time you kind of really saw the detective story inside of the Batman. Finally get to see him be a detective. So you're a fidgeter, huh?
Haven't I always been?
Yeah.
Fuck with stuff on the table.
Yeah, making noise like my kids. I like it.
Awesome. So, I just saw a comment in your chat just only because I thought it was amazing.
Sure.
Guy just said, I know Ben from his Magic the Gathering videos. Cool to see him here.
Yeah.
That was in the old days. It used to be, it was always if I popped up in Magic, I'd be like, oh, I know you from Schmodown and movies. This is so wild. I didn't know you played Magic.
Yeah.
That's funny to me.
Well, it's funny because I think we're going to talk about that too. You're building up a new following through Magic and everything.
This whole thing I've been doing.
It's amazing. Yeah. So we'll discuss all that more, but I do want to get into the game stuff. I want to get into the Magic the Gathering stuff. I want to talk about all that. But before we even do it, I want to get your opinions, guys, on what you think about Superman. Is it going to make $1 billion? Do you think so? Yes. Do you think so? No. Put your thoughts in there. Let me know. Go to the Clips channel. If you haven't already subscribed to the Clips channel, we're approaching 9,000 subscribers on that channel. You can watch the entire show on that channel. So make sure, and you do it in segments. So make sure you do that.